a former U.S. attorney, and he joins me now. Brett, is the prosecutor taking a big risk using racketeering charges in the Georgia case?
Well, you know, a RICO case is a very complex prosecution, and it requires that you have all of your ducks in a row. And I say that because the number of areas in which you can appeal a badly, performed RICO case are exponential. Your facts have to satisfy that there is a criminal enterprise. There's a reason why it's a complex prosecution, because you're typically going after very complex organizations, an enterprise that is established to appear as being legitimate, but underneath is operating, criminally. This has never been applied in a case like this, where you have lawyers representing a client who are attempting to legally challenge an election. So I think it's a problem. It's going to be a double-edged sword for Georgia, and I think the risk is not justify. The reward is not going to justify the risk in this case.
Well, Brett, the trial is set for March the 4th. That's the day before Super Tuesday, for heaven's sake. All 19 of the defendants will be tried together. I think it's just going to be a circus, and that it's really the court injecting itself into the political process. What say you?
I can't imagine this trial goes forward on that date. With 19 defendants, there are so many motions that can be brought prior to a jury being impaneled and receiving this case. Now, if they want to try to, ramrod this case through and avoid, thoughtful analysis of all the motions that are coming, then they risk an overturning of any conviction that they do get. So this is going to be a case that could drag on for a really long time, because you are forcing facts that don't justify the application of the statute they're trying to prosecute these defendants.
Do you think any of the trials will take place in full before the election?
I think there's a strong possibility that the Washington, D.C. case goes forward. You have very little motions that you can, very few motions you can file in a federal case. You have a judge that wants to push that case along. You have facts that are, let's face it. I mean, this is one in which a D.C. jury could be impaneled fairly quickly, and you could see Donald Trump get convicted, taken into custody immediately and sentenced, and be running for president and appealing his conviction while in the inside of a prison.
I don't think America's happy with this. I don't think America wants to see all these trials and tribulations for a presidential candidate, and the sitting president is under investigation as well. I don't think America wants this. Last word to you.
We don't want this. What we want is a justice system that doesn't ignore something so blatant as the Biden corruption that is unfolding before us, with whistleblowers and real and genuine underlying crimes being covered up, while at the same time using creatively statutes to go after a leading political opponent. I mean, it's outrageous. It offends the majority of Americans in this country. Anyone trying to justify it has to perform legal and factual wrangling that discuss those of us who have brought these kinds of cases in the past. So I hope it's sorted out. I hope that we move on as a country from this ugly chapter.
Good indeed. Brett Tolman, thanks for being with us, sir. Appreciate it, always.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.